Hi, I'm Robin Bensley. Welcome to Chow Time. Clam bakes are older than America itself. Native American tribes first put together clam bakes nearly 2,000 years ago. And then when the Pilgrims arrived to the shores of America, they learned from them and they would put together clam bakes. And they became a part of the American culture in New England by the late 1700s. And then in the late 1800s, they became as American as apple pie. They're very big here in Ohio, especially in the fall season. You gather with a group of friends around a bonfire on a crispy afternoon with red and yellow and orange leaves floating down from the trees. Big pots are filled with clams and chicken and potatoes steaming away as you sip your beer. And then a sharp wind blows in, and the smoke from the fire burns your eyes, and your nose and your mascara runs. And then it starts raining, and you dash into your friend's garage, and you slip on some oil, and you sprain your ankle while your hosts are desperately trying to save the food from getting saturated. And they give you a cupful of clam broth, which burns the roof of your mouth off, and half the clams haven't opened. And then you go home and you make this. I love the idea of this one-pan clam bake. I'm starting off with chicken because it's always been one of my favorite parts of a clam bake. And I'm using a mixture of thighs and drumsticks. You can use whatever you want. But use the bone-in, skin-on kind of chicken. Don't use boneless chicken breasts. And then I'm going to sprinkle about 2 sweet potatoes that I peeled and chopped. Sprinkle them around the pan. And I have to show you this. Yesterday, my friend Mary Miller gave me a sweet potato from her garden. Look at this thing. It's like the size of a football. I don't even know what the heck to do with it, but that's later. And then I want to add red skinned potatoes. And, maybe about half a dozen of them, again, cut into chunks. Sprinkle those around. And if you like, you can add some corn. I just happen to have some corn around. So, cut off some chunks like that. There. Let's set those around. Now, I'm going to take a jar of clam juice and pour it all over. That alone smells just like a clam bake. Now come the clams. 2 cans of minced clams, and include the juice. About a teaspoon of salt. And the same with the pepper. There's one more thing I add to give the broth especially added richness, in its butter. So I've got some cold butter, about 4 tablespoons. I'm going to cut it up into little pieces. And just sprinkle it on top. This gets covered. And I want to roast this in a hot oven, 400 degrees, for, was that heavy? For about 50 minutes or so until the potatoes are nice and tender and the chicken is cooked through. Okay, now what I want to do is take the cover off. Put it back in this hot 400-degree oven and just let it roast for about 20 minutes. I just want to get a surface on it. Perfect. The aromas are fantastic. I'm going to serve myself a little bit of everything. I want to make sure to get that broth in there. And sweet potatoes. More broth. And I always serve it with a knife and a fork and a big spoon, because you have that broth in there. So let's get a little bit of everything in a bite. Some chicken, which is falling off the bone. A little sweet potato, a little red potato. I'll tackle the corn in a minute. What a plate of food. You must serve it with some good bread. And you don't need butter, because there's butter in this broth. But dipping this, what a dinner, all in one pan. And here's the thing about Clambake chicken. You can eat it all year long if you want.